You're welcome back to Business Incorporated on Channels Television, where Allianz Global Corporate and Specialty a leading corporate insurance carrier, has released its 2021 Safety and Shipping Review. The international shipping industry is responsible for the carriage of around 90% of world trade, so the safety of vessels is critical. The picture of the Ever Given stuck in the Suez Canal and the loss of 18,000 containers on the Ever Given during the Suez Canal blockage, which lasted for 6 days, comes to mind. The report shows 49 total losses in 2020. That's a 50% decline over a decade. 18 cargo ships lost in the same year, 2,703 shipping incidents, down 4% year on year. Well, to give us an overview of this report and its implication, we have Captain Rahul Khanna. He is the Global Head of Marine Risk Consulting at Allianz. Good to have you, Captain Rahul. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Great. So help us to understand the essence of this report and a summary of your observation over the period.
Yeah, as you summarized in the beginning of this text, I think we have seen 49 total losses in the industry in the year 2020, and we do these annual analysis of calendar year. So this is a 2020 year analysis. And we have seen that the continued safety trend of reducing losses is still prevalent. In the last 3 years, we've seen losses just sort of hovering around 50, and 49 were there in 2020. That means that we have sort of achieved a stable place of total losses in the years. And this is certainly down 50% from 10 years earlier. So there has been tremendous work in regards to safety done by the industry over the years. Looking at the losses a little bit more in detail, we have seen that cargo ships have formed the maximum number of vessels that were lost, and that is also consistent with what we have seen in the past. And looking at the regions where we have seen most number of losses, that has again been the South China, Indochina, Philippines, and Indonesia, and that region where we have seen maximum number of losses. Again, this region has topped the list like it has in the last few years. If you look at the causes of losses, we have seen that foundering, sinking, or submerging, as we call them, is the highest cause by which the vessels were lost in this 49 total losses we saw in 2020. Overall, I think the safety, the statistics of the industry is quite good, and what we have done over the years as an industry, the safety culture that has been built, the advancement in technology that has helped, and also the collective efforts in pushing the safety agenda in front of the companies and at the boardroom levels, and also the support organizations like insurance and classifications, others have all come together to reach this place. If you look at the total number of incidents, as you just said, are also down 4%, which is again a good indicator. And also points towards the improving safety trend within the industry. What we have seen, on the other hand, is the number of instances, while they have reduced over the years, the quantum of loss, I mean, the loss per incident is actually climbing very rapidly. Ships have grown in size exponentially over the last few years. If you look at container ships, for example, you're looking at 1,500% rise in container ship sizes in the last 50 years. We used to have 2,000, 3,000 container carrying capacity ships, and we used to call them large ships just about 10, 15 years ago. And now we have 24,000 container carrying capacity ships, and Ever Given was one of them, which made headlines earlier in the year.
All right,
so there are concerns across.
Yeah. All right, so Captain Rahul, let's look at Nigeria. We have the Nigerian government putting in a lot of efforts to curb piracy in its waterways. From your perspective and from your observation when you're gathering data for this report, would you say that's yielding fruits?
Well, unfortunately, in Gulf of Guinea, we've seen 130 kidnappings this year, in the last year, which is the highest there has been ever. So I'm aware there's a lot of work trying to be is being done behind the scenes by various countries, including Nigeria. But the numbers are unfortunately suggesting that the situation is not under control at the moment. If you look at the numbers of total piracy number, that has also increased, especially in the Gulf of Guinea region. And I think a lot more remains to be done by the coastal states around the Gulf of Guinea, including Nigeria, to curb this piracy. I think piracy is becoming such a big problem at the moment because we are seeing the model is changing in the Western Africa and Gulf of Guinea, that the pirates are focusing on kidnapping the crew and then asking for ransom. What we had seen earlier in Gulf of Aden was they were kidnapping or hijacking ships, which is a little different. But here there's a personal danger to the crew members who are already suffering because of the COVID humanitarian crisis that we are going through in the industry. So overall, I think Nigeria and other countries around need to do a lot more patrolling. They need a lot more focus on the problem as where it starts from and how we can control it. One of the other problems with this last year piracy issue is that the attacks have happened as far as 200 nautical miles from the coast, which is so far out that patrolling those seas becomes a lot more difficult than it used to be. So clearly, a lot more needs to be done, and collective effort by these countries can only solve the problem. Otherwise, it's going to be a big issue.
All right. Thank you so much, Captain Rahul Khanna, the head of Marine Risk at Allianz, for sharing your thoughts with us on your reports in looking at the safety of shipping in last year. Thank you so much and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.